The Mixed Mornings and More podcast with Steph.
Now available daily.
Good morning, world. Hello, and welcome to Monday. It is 5:31, and I'm just going to go ahead and give myself a raise. So here's my ding. Do I deserve it? I don't know. I'm 30 seconds late, but that's okay. I need it today. All right. We all need a raise today. Sean would say it is October 23rd, 2023. And then he'd probably say, that's a lot of threes. He's gone, though. He left us for a new adventure. Let's not dwell on it. Just kidding. I've been heartbroken for days. But what a privilege it is to have someone to miss. I'm so glad to know him. I also need to give a shout out to a fella I met on Saturday night. He was extremely tall. He had a nose ring, and he stopped me on my way out of the Buffys to say he listens for the start of our show each day. So here's a very special good morning, world, to my new friend, Jeremy. Thanks for listening. Always nice to meet folks in the 5 a.m. club. We're all in this daily sunrise seeing group together.
5 a.m. Confessions.
I am an awkward celebrity meeter. Let me set the stage for you. I got to meet Jillian Harris the other night. Now, if you've never heard of her, she's an influencer who lives in Kelowna. But she used to be on The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. She's the designer on Love It or List It Vancouver. She now runs the Jilly Box, Jilly Digital, the Jilly Academy. She's not just an influencer. She's pretty freaking cool. So my friend and I waited in line for over an hour after the show to meet her. And we discussed that we didn't want to say, oh, I've been following you for years, or I love watching your stories. And honestly, at this point, it seems like that would be the perfect thing to say to somebody who you've been following for years and love watching their stories, but whatever. The problem was, after we decided we weren't going to say that, we failed to make an alternate plan, like a different conversation that we were going to say if we were going to skip that easy one. So we finally got to stand next to her, and she asked where we were from, if we grew up in Fort McMurray. That's an easy question, but apparently it was a hard answer. My brain jumbled, and I was like, no, I'm from Ontario. And she tried, oh, cool, like elaborate. But I chose silence as my response because I'm awesome. Then my friend, who couldn't think of anything else to say in the awkwardness, said that I was kind of famous, which is so not true. So once we established what my job was, she said, oh, what shift do you work? Now, I'm pretty sure she meant 5 to noon. That would be a safe, easy, quick answer. But instead I said, oh, I get up at 4, I get to the station for 5, I turn my mic on at 5:30, turn it off at 10, then I go and make a podcast, I go home around noon after some meetings and things like that. And she's kind of looking at me like, all right, cool. She's so gracious. What an easy person. But I was so embarrassed. And then we had to get our picture taken, and I thought, I don't know what my face is going to look like in this, but I hope I can wrangle it back to I'm not awkward and I'm not blushing right now and I'm a normal human being, I promise. Are you planning to read The Woman in Me? It's Britney Spears' new book. I love an autobiography. Usually a ghostwriter helps to make the stories coherent and good, and it's a quick way to pass the time with a little inside look into someone else's life. However, this book has had so much press, I don't know if there'll be anything left to read. Justin Timberlake broke up with Britney via 2-word text. Colin Farrell and Britney Spears shared a wild night together. What Britney thinks of sister Jamie Spears revealed a new book. All the celebrities that show up in The Woman in Me. And in case that wasn't enough, People put out a headline that read, "The biggest bombshells from Britney Spears' new memoir." Is this supposed to help or tank sales? For Thanksgiving weekend, my friends and I went camping at Elk Island, and since we were pretty far down there towards Edmonton, we looked for a pumpkin patch on our way back. And my husband was so excited when he found the biggest pumpkin I've ever seen for sale. He picked it up, it took all of his might, brought it over to the scale. It was 56 pounds, and the lady gave us a deal. $50 for this giant pumpkin. And I thought, oh my goodness, that's a lot of money and it has to last for the next 3 weeks. So we brought it inside our house, and it's one of those things that you just have to kind of hit on your way by, give it a little hello pumpkin, how you doing tap. And I walked in from work on Friday to my 56-pound pumpkin sitting by the doorway, and I tapped it and my finger went through it. It went all the way in. It was so gross. You know, you're just not expecting it. You're expecting a hard, hollow kind of sound. And then all of a sudden you're in this rotten place. And oh, it was so bad. I screamed out loud. And then I thought, we spent $50 on this pumpkin and it's not even going to last till Halloween. And so my husband came home and I had to break the news to him that his joy of the season might not last. And he thought, okay, well, maybe we could put some crazy glue on it, or like, what could we do to preserve this pumpkin? And we kind of have done nothing. We're just kind of keeping an eye on it. Like, is more of it going to rot, or is that just a one-off? And he said, it only has to last one more week. And all I could think was, it only took 2 weeks for it to start decomposing. I'm not holding my breath that it's going to last till Halloween, but honestly, I might have to start, because I'm guessing that first comes the rot and then comes the stench. It is National Croc Day. Now, I didn't know we needed a day to celebrate the shoes, but here we are. And if you looked at my house, you'd think we celebrate every single day. My husband probably has 12 to 15 pairs of Crocs. He's been collecting them for years. I think he started back in like 2007 or so when his feet were sore at Disneyland. And somebody said, Crocs are the best, man, you got to get them. So his first pair of Crocs has Mickey Mouse ears for holes. But ever since then, he's been a Croc supporter. I was a denier until about 2 years ago. Got my first pair of Crocs. Now I can't go back. I'm a 4-pair owner as well. But the website that is talking about National Croc Day, it's a little bit confused, I think. Now, first half of it is talking about why you should celebrate Crocs, because they are comfortable, because the shoes come in many colors and styles, because they're durable. But then the ways to celebrate are to visit a croc farm. And as I read on and thought, is this a joke? No, they want you to visit a crocodile farm. So maybe today is also National Crocodile Day. The other way they'd like you to celebrate is to host a croc movie night and watch some crocodile movies and learn about them. I don't know, Davy Crockett, maybe. They'd also like you to make a croc craft. And then the strangest one I can find is to celebrate National Croc Day by eating some croc gumbo. They say that gumbo is often made with alligator, but you can find some that are made with crocodile, and that's a great way to celebrate that crocodiles exist, is by eating them. I went to see The Creator the other night. It was about humans becoming nearly extinct because robots and AI kind of took over the world and became the main species, even though the humans created them. And I honestly thought it was going to be more thought-provoking, but the movie that has stuck with me since I saw it 12 years ago was The Hunger Games. And it might be because I went in completely blind. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. A friend of mine invited me and I was like, yeah, I'll be there. And then it was a movie about kids trying to kill each other for the richest people to watch, like a sport. And the social commentary of that in my brain, it's never left. I honestly, probably for the first 10 years, thought about that movie every day. Now it's at once a week. But I'm wondering, do you have a movie that completely jumbled your brain and made you think about things differently? I'd love to know. 780-791-1037. Chatting this morning about movies that impacted you that you're still thinking about. Did you see The Others? It had Nicole Kidman in it, and I saw it when I was in high school. And I don't want to reveal the ending on you, but it was a confusing one. And if I wasn't so afraid of it, I'd watch it again to try and understand. But instead, I'm 17 years out of high school still wondering how it all shook out. Cheryl says The Truman Show. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night, Cheryl. Life does feel a little like that now with social media and having influencers talking about their day, and then bam, try my new Mocha Coco drink. It's all natural cocoa beans from the upper slopes of Mount Nicaragua. No artificial flavors. Wait a second, who are you talking to? A giant good morning to Executive Director of the Fort McMurray Chamber of Commerce, Diana D'Souza. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Steph. Hello.
Thank you for joining me so early today. You've got a big week ahead of you.
We do. It's our 2023 Chamber of Commerce Business Awards, celebrating business excellence. We're very excited.
Now that's going to be on Friday night at Keanu Theater.
At Keanu Theater, doors open at 6, so cocktails and, food, gourmet food from 6 to 7. Show starts at 7.
Lots of fun to be had. And every year, the Business Awards, they are not just, come up on stage, get your award, call it a day. It's a full-on production, right?
It absolutely is. It's a lot of, I've always said it's a year-long labor of love. But yes, it is actually a production in terms of, we try not to make it a very typical, boring award show. There's entertainment, there's a lot of engagement, and we've had so much positive feedback, both from the attendees and the nominees, and how much they appreciate it being such a special event for them. It's exciting. It's a lot of fun.
Can you give us a little maybe preview of what's going to happen Friday night, or are you keeping it all a secret and surprising everyone?
Well, you're going to walk in. We have a live band in the lobby. We've actually expanded the space so that we're taking over part of Keanu's cafeteria to have the food spread. We've got, of course, the photo booth, party carts now doing the photo booth. Wine, we've got cocktails by booth. You do get a drink ticket when you come on in. Program starts at 7. Of course, there's a mix of great entertainment. Our hosts are always part of the show. And we've got a few interesting acts coming.
All right. Very exciting. And what kind of awards are you giving out this week?
So it's I would say it's the usual, but it's from social collaboration, small business, emerging entrepreneur to business of the year.
Wow.
We recognize businesses that have adapted to the environment and the economy or to consumer trends. And then there's a component of people's choice where out of the shortlisted nominees, the people get to choose. They vote and they choose their selected winner. So leader of the year, small and medium business, and small business of the year, people's choice. We have female leadership. And of course, the big award of the night is the Lifetime Achievement Award for a business that has been in business and contributing to the community for over 20 years.
Wow. All right. So we know that it's going to be a wonderful night. You and I have both been there many times. Yes. But if somebody's just hearing about it right now and they're like, oh my gosh, Friday night, I'm free on Friday night and I must get there. Where can they get their tickets?
So you just head over to fortmcmurraychamber.ca/awards, or they can go to fortmcmurraychamber.ca events and they'll find it there. Just click on it and get your tickets. We look forward to seeing you there.
Join us Friday night at the Business Awards for the Fort McMurray Chamber of Commerce. Thanks for joining me, Diana.
Thanks for having me this early, Steph.
It's been a ton of fun, but it's time for me to get out of here. I hope your day's looking on the bright side. And if you're missing Sean today, know you're in good company. I am as well. So please do say hi to your dogs for him, and just know it's a privilege to miss someone. So great to have somebody that good in your life to feel the loss when they take off and leave you. Have a wonderful day, and I'll chat with you again tomorrow starting at 5:30. See ya.
Want more of today's show?
Download the Mixed Mornings and More podcast.
Now available every weekday.